Happen. It's a great shot. It's four. It's a free. Throw the hands through the gap.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of On the Boundary. Just two coaches chatting cricket, and today we are a bit excited. Well, I am a bit excited, even though I'm feeling a bit sick. Coach, I'm sure you are sharing this excitement with me.
Uh, Definitely sharing the excitement, even wardrobe changes for some of us. We've gone in with a little more color, gone in with a beautiful green. So yeah, the excitement's on our face and everywhere.
And this is something we've waited for almost all our lives, but I think we're gonna touch on it a bit later. Let's talk about the Super Eight, but before we just talk about the cricket in general, I want us to talk about the format. What do you think about the format? Because for me personally, I don't like the fact that at some point we were worried that the Proteas wouldn't make it on net run rate, even though they would have only probably lost just one game.
Uh, if you remember in our last episode, I had questioned the fact that we don't take any points through to the eighth. So going unbeaten was pretty much a waste in our group stages. Not a waste, but yeah, we didn't get anything from that. So I would have liked maybe to have had an advantage coming through from the group stage, even if
Yeah.
it's just the points against the teams that have gone through or something like that. But just for it to be a little more worth it what we did in the group stages, if I can put it that way. But
Yeah.
having a Super 8 as a group stages, I don't think I mind that more games of cricket because I think sometimes we just want to play. This World Cup has honestly not been as long as most T20 leagues feel sometimes, but we still had enough games for people to watch and to grow the game in the USA because initially that was always a big part of taking this World Cup to the USA is to try to grow the tournament, get more people behind it. So happy with that. Just that point thing, as I said.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% behind you, the coach, and I think you don't want a tournament that's going to be so long that halfway through the tournament nobody's excited, nobody cares what's going on, and I feel like with this tournament, with this World Cup here, it hasn't been the case. People were still looking forward to see who's going to make it out of the Super Eights, who's going to make it out of their group, who's going to play who in the semifinals, and I think that's what you want in a tournament. You don't want a tournament that's going to end up boring people halfway through. A tournament where halfway through players are also getting injured and stuff like that. So, yeah, for me, I think maybe the format could be revisited. I think maybe they could, like you suggested, maybe carry your points. You can't have a side that's undefeated, yet they're scared of not making it to the next round simply because of net run rate. But I also think it
On
speaks
one game.
to, yeah, I think it speaks to the nature of T20 cricket, the nature of how T20 cricket is expected to be played, because you're expected to be scoring big runs and scoring them quickly. So, of which wasn't easy in this tournament because of the pitches. And for us, it wasn't even easier because of how we were winning the games. One wicket, 18 runs, a few runs like that. But being unbeaten, group stages, being unbeaten, Super 8, semi final, Coachy. What are your thoughts on the semi final? I saw a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter were panicking. Proteas are always joking, and I'm like, first of all, we are playing a side that's never really beaten us. That for us was a massive boost. Never mind the fact that it was a knockout game. Yes, it was a knockout game. It comes with the pressure of being a knockout game. But the fact that we are playing against a side that has never beaten us was a plus one for us. The fact that we were also playing against a side that had never been to a semi-final. That was also a plus for us. Yes, we had never or we had not won a semi-final before, but we had been to a semi-final before. So for me, I honestly wasn't worried. I believe that there were more positives in our side than there were positives in Afghanistan's side. What are your thoughts, Coach?
Yeah, going into that game, you know what Afghanistan's strengths are. So in a way, we were worried about Farouk, what the left arm at the top, and then the spinners. So yes, Naveen swings it and is also quite dangerous, but the main threats going into that game was what if we lose a few wickets at the top before Rashid and Noor come in, and then we are in real trouble. But saying that, we were really comfortable with the batting lineup that they were bringing to us, especially against our bowling lineup, who have gained form as the tournament gone on. Yes, we've had Nokia who was hot from the start. We've had a few, but having KG just keep getting better. We've had Janssen also improve game by game. So I wasn't worried. Once we've gotten one of the openers, I didn't even need two of them. I just needed to open one end up, and I was happy to keep going. I didn't think it would be 50 all out, but I always knew that that was our biggest card, if I could say, in that semi-final, knowing that that team can't might doesn't score a lot of runs, which is why they also were forced to win toss, bat first, because they trust their bowlers a lot more than they trust their batters. So it was always for me. I don't want to say super confident going in there, because the bigger a fan you are, the more nervous you get. You find stupid things to be scared about. So I went in there quite confident, especially for a Protea fan, and it being a semi-final. Uh, and as I had said, I got a few people who I feel sometimes perform a little better when it gets to knockout stages. So I was looking forward to having some runs from Aiden. We didn't get Miller or Clausen, but part of me was also banking on those two to not hit it at the ballpark, but to at least put in a performance. So went in there slightly quietly confident, which is why I wasn't scared to set the alarm and definitely wake up at 2:30 and have to watch the whole game.
Yeah, coach, and regardless of the opposition we were playing, I am sure I speak for many South Africans when I say it was a bit of an emotional day. I know we woke up at some woke up at 2:30 a.m. Some stayed up like me. And we, as much as I thought we would beat Afghanistan. I honestly didn't know what to expect because we know how the Proteas have been in semi-finals in the past before. So there was always that bit of doubt about waking up in the morning and only to get your heart broken. Even on Twitter, people were saying how we are ready to get our hearts broken. But I love how people just still came across. People woke up in the morning, people stayed up, and they showed support to the boys, and history was made. For the first time in my lifetime, I got to see the Proteas make it to the final, and hopefully I'll get to see them lift that World Cup, which is going to be an exciting day for almost every South African cricket fan.
Yeah, as you said, big excitement making it into the semi-final first, and then making it into the final. We have a very negative fan base as South Africa, as you said. But I like that the negativity was shown with them saying, we are nervous, we're going to get heartbroken again. But that also meant that people were up and supporting. But if you had seen our the comments from our fans and what our fans were speaking about, you wouldn't have thought that it was a team that had done 7 out of 7. and gone into the semi-final unbeaten.
Tell me
But
about it.
it's how Protea fans do it, and we've learned. Maybe it's our coping mechanism because of the heartbreaks we've had. So
Yeah.
you understand the fans, I'd say, but we were performing a lot better than Twitter was saying. So it's what we've come accustomed to as Proteas fans. So us getting into the final, reason why we had to squeeze in a show even before that final, because this is already a step in the right direction and a momentous moment for Proteas. As you said, 18 World Cups we've been to, none that we've made it into a final.
The only final we made it to was the inaugural Champions Trophy.
Not a World Cup.
That time, so, and it wasn't a World Cup, so yeah.
Yeah, so so we're really happy about this, honestly. And we're not even talking about how we got here and wow, what's the positive, what's the negatives, because there's a lot of stuff that's gone on to get us here. I feel like the leadership, I don't want to say Aiden Markram just by himself, the leadership. We haven't gotten the. I felt at some stage in the late stages of the group stages and early stages of the Super 8 stage, we didn't get the lineup 100% right. We played Shams when we shouldn't, and we took Batman out when we might have had to keep him. So, but we still made it work, which I feel like 9 out of 10 of the decisions made by leadership and captain were spot on. We played a game where Rabada bowled 2 overs at the death, which, especially with Rabada being in such great form, was a brave decision and still also the right decision. But things like that right now don't matter. We're in the final. We've won the semi-final. We need to do it again on Saturday. So it's weird right now. It's excitement, it's nervousness, but it obviously because we've never been here. But it's really fun times.
I actually like that you touched on that. I really wanted us to sort of speak about how good some individuals have been, and you mentioned 2 of the guys. You mentioned Ukagiso Rabada, you mentioned Aiden Markram in terms of his captaincy. I've been mesmerized. His batting hasn't been at the level that we know it to be, but oh my God, his captaincy. Oh my God, his captaincy. Game management. I loved how he managed the game. We score a small total, but him and his bowlers are still able to take it to a point where the bowler bowling the last over at least has to defend 12 runs. And we know when it comes to defending totals, you don't want to get to a total where in the last over you're defending less than 12 runs or even less than 10 runs because it becomes slightly easier. His bowling changes have been great. Field settings have been great. His fielding, the entire team's fielding has been great. Ukagiso Rabada, I have never seen him bowl this well in a World Cup before. We had a World Cup even last year, that 50 over World Cup, but I had never seen him bowl this well in a World Cup before, which is a big thing for us. I think any team, once your so-called big players or your so-called senior players start raising their hands in a tournament, you are bound to do well, coaching.
Exactly, but there was who do we drop moment when in one of our episodes when we mentioned how tough it is, no matter how bad KG is doing, because you know the quality, you know the leadership is one thing I also wanted to put out there because he's the leader of the bowling attack. It doesn't need to be told to us. It doesn't need to be explicitly put anywhere, but we've always known KG is the leader of that bowling attack. So having him firing now means it puts us in a really good position as a team. And as you said, Aiden Markram, sort of for me, I'm too much of a fan. Sometimes maybe it judges it clouds my judgment when it comes to Eden Markram. But honestly, the captaincy in this World Cup has been splendid. And there's after that semi-final win, I liked what Keshav said about him, because it feels like the team is so behind Aiden Markram. Whatever he wants them to do, it seems like it's done wholeheartedly, 100%. KG not bowling and waiting for the 18th over to bowl, and he still came on and bowled like he had no issues with the decision and how it has been. Because all of us, especially as a leader of an attack, you want to bowl. You want to be the one setting the tone. You want to be the one involved in getting your team to win. So, but it feels like the Proteas are behind whatever Aiden wants. And while it works, it's obviously going to be easy. But the fact that the whole group stage was a struggle, how we were winning games and all of that, but they still stuck behind him. You didn't once see a captain being doubted. So it was the environment shows a very united team to us outsiders.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Spot on, 100%. Coach Har, yeah, I remember the last time we didn't want to put ourselves in Coach Rob's shoes, but today I think we should. Heading into that final, at least today we don't have to speak about dropping Ukahi Sorabada, and hopefully even the people who are thinking about it will never entertain the thought ever again. But yeah, we are heading into the final. Big chances are we are playing against India. England is currently 64 for 5 in 10.2 overs. They need 108 and 58. So I don't see them making it. But with cricket, anything's possible. But let's say we are playing against India in the final. Do you go in with Shamo? He's been bowling beautifully, no doubt. Do you go in with Shamo, or do you bring back Oatmeal Batman?
We always say, and I think maybe not when I say we always say, it's more me and you. Playing Brisbane against India is always not as shoe in as any other game, is what I'm saying. Any other game, any other team, Shamsi won't even be questioned, especially after 3 for 6. But it being India and how India play spin, especially how India attack spin, because it's not just them surviving Shamsi, it's them maybe attacking Shamsi. But I'm at the point right now where I feel like horses for courses, if the pitch is for a spinner, we're playing Shamsi, no matter who we're playing against. Right now, he plays. But having O'Neill on the bench, on a pitch, if the pitch is a little spicy and we do have some seam and a little bit of uneven bounce, having him coming ready to step in is beautiful.
Where do you know where the final is going to be played?
Barbados. I'm trying to remember what the pitch is like there.
Spinners, West Indies. There's always a bit of something for the spinners. So yeah,
exactly.
I'm with you on that one, and I think the coaching staff has done so well in terms of the selection, in terms of picking the team for the conditions. I think it's one game where we were concerned that maybe we didn't pick the necessary team for the conditions. But apart from that game, they've been picking teams for the conditions, and it's been good to see. Yeah, it's been working, and I like that. Hopefully we can get to the final and win it. England just lost their 6th wicket. So I think, they are slowly going down the grave. Kuldeep Yadav, oh my God. Henrik Claassen is going to have to find his very best against the spinners, and then we can hope the other batters can just cope with the spinners, because I was watching Kuldeep Yadav now, and he looks like he's ready for for that final. But yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting final, coach, regardless of who we play against.
Yeah, as you're saying, cool deep Yara. For me, it's two bowlers. It's cool deep, and then it's that guy called Bumrah. So we
Yeah,
survived Jasprit Bumrah, and I'm not going to say confident again of what we can do against Kuldeep because I'm not, but I've got a little hope in Stubbs also, not just Klassen. I don't think it's only going to be a Klassen thing, which is why I've always tried to get Stubbs in at 4 because going into this World Cup, I knew Spain would be bowling quite early. And for me, I always feel like even if we're doing really well, having Miller come in the 16th over, even just facing 4 overs, I know it's not the greatest thing to say, especially about Miller, who is such a great batsman. But having him coming in to bash whichever pace is coming in at the end is something I really like to bank on. I know sometimes it's looked at when you want someone experienced as him to come in a little lower down, it's seen as a negative move. You're scared he'll get out or whatever. That's not the case with Miller. I am happy he's the insurance if things do fail at the top. But also, as I'm saying, we've got guys who can bash spin in Stubbs and Clausen, and then he comes in to bash whichever seamer is coming in at the dead, trying to close it out for their team. So I'm not telling Rob again to pick his batting lineup, but I'm very confident in those two against Spain. Aiden is like him at number 3. There's a number 3 who would block 5 balls and then try to hit one. Right now, I know Aiden dot ball percentage, even in the IPL when he was struggling, his dot ball percentage is really low. So he will rotate strike whoever he's batting with. And then we're banking on those two to bash the spinners. So I don't want to say we're confident, but we don't mind playing India. That's how I'd like to say. We don't mind playing whoever we're playing in the final. We're in the final and we're there to win it.
first time in the final, and we're taking it, Coachy. Thanks for another show, Coachy. We'll probably have a chat after the final when we have the trophy when we know the trophy is coming back to South Africa. And hopefully we can get a holiday from Ramaphosa like the Springboks. That would be lekker. But yeah, great show. Enjoyed having a chat with you. It's been a while. Hope you're also enjoying the T20 World Cup. But the times are tough. But yeah, we must wake up for this thing.
Yeah, the times have been really tough, and honestly, we'd really love to thank the Proteas for making it worth it. Like, if we had woken up at 2 o'clock and seen a boring game where very one-sided and the Proteas lose, it would have been terrible. So now they've made it really exciting with tight games and won the game. So it's been worth our 2 a.m. alarms and us getting getting to work really sleepy. Struggling to make it to lunch. But yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, and share your thoughts as to what you think about the brief chat that, oh my God, they just lost their 7th wicket. Sorry. Please please comment, like, and share your thoughts on what we just shared with you today. And we will see you in our next episode. And hopefully, very hopefully, that by the time we have our next episode, we will be called the T20 champions. Coach R, cheers, Buddha.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good one.
Yes! Yes! Yes, man. What pass? Oh, choppy. Yeah.